Viewer discretion is advised.
Falcons, I could just 28-3 this and call it a day, but that would be too easy. Remember that time Eugene Robinson solicited a prostitute the night before the Super Bowl? Yeah, you also traded Brett Favre. And of course, guys, can't leave this play out. Wow, congrats Falcons, you are now a meme. Also, your new stadium looks like a giant metallic prolapsed anus. You see how this is gonna go, folks? It's about to get worse. I'm over all the 28-3 references. This is the last time you will hear it. But you know who isn't over it yet? You. Your franchise. It haunts you in your dreams like that totally unfunny Jordan Peele movie. The real root of your problem happened 39 years ago when you blew a 20-point lead to the Cowboys in 1980. You had an incredible defense and they went full Falcons in a way that would put a smile on Kyle Shanahan's face. This is easily the most aesthetic jersey in the league. The colors and design is perfect, and I have nothing derogatory or mocking to say about these uniforms. Okay, how many stadiums is Mercedes-Benz allowed to slap their name on? This state-of-the-art marvel of architecture resembles Megatron's prolapsed anus, and yes, the hole in the roof opens and closes like that night you thought Arby's at 2 a.m. was a good idea. Seriously though, this stadium is one of the most technologically advanced the league has ever seen, and probably has faster internet than Comcast. Scooter from the Muppets in bird form. His jersey number is 0, representing the Super Bowl rings the Falcons have. Not many people know this, but Freddie Falcon set off the implosion of the Georgia Dome. And Kyle Shanahan set off their other one. You knew it was coming, you knew it. The Vikings pumping in crowd noise was alleged. The Falcons, however, got caught red and black-handed. After the NFL investigated in 2012, Arthur Blank manned up and confessed. And they were fined $350K and lost draft picks. Additionally, the Falcons were forced to donate Super Bowl 51 to the Patriots. Atlanta Falcons, Arthur Blank. Arthur Blank co-founded the Home Depot in 1978. That was 40 years ago. Arthur Blank is 75. 75 plus 40 equals the Falcons blew a 25-point lead. And no, I will not let that go because it happened. It happened. What's interesting about this game is that though it's tied for the largest blowout in the Super Bowl era, it could have been the biggest one had the Rams kicker Tom Dempsey not missed 3 extra points. But that didn't matter as they beat up the Falcons to the tune of 59 zappy. And how much did Tom Dempsey miss those extra points by? About 1 foot. Yes, I am going to hell. You know this is coming. 3 kneel downs and a field goal and you are world champs. Sorry, it can't be forgiven. I won't let it go. It's one of the biggest backfires of all time. And call me unoriginal, I don't care. Despite hosting 2 Super Bowls, the Georgia Dome had troubles from the beginning, which ultimately contributed to its very short time as a stadium, only 25 years. The Dome had trouble with its roof and had to be renovated after 10 years. In 2016, it was replaced with nearby Mercedes-Benz Arena, then it was demolished and turned into a tailgating area. Alright, I gotta zoom in real tight on this one. Let's go. Keep on zooming. Keep on. What is this bird holding? Oh. One of 6 Super Bowl stadiums that no longer exists, the Georgia Dome rose hard and fell fast after it was opened in 1992. Just 2 years later, it hosted its first Super Bowl, and then again in 2000, as it was the backdrop of every Titan fan's worst nightmare. Following that, structural problems with its roof began, and it was demolished after only 25 years of operation. Though state-of-the-art when it debuted, the Georgia Dome falls in the average tier. Our most recent host of the Superb Owl. Too bad that game wasn't as spectacular as this stadium is. Though not HD, the circular ring inside the roof's dilated sphincter is the world's largest video board. The stadium truly is a modern marvel and will probably host at least 2 more Super Bowls before it becomes outdated like the latest iPhone. This dome truly stretches the limits of modern engineering, both inside and out. The butthole roof, the circular video board, and to top it off, the reasonable food prices make this an absolutely top-tier venue for the NFL, and it will be for years to come, unless it blows its huge lead. It's me with Falcons fan. I had to ask my buddy Eric Rayweather which NFC South fan was the saltiest, and he didn't even hesitate. Falcons fan. It's not just about the meme, it's the long drawn out history of 1, losing, 2, no sympathy about it. You had an absurd defense in the 80s, blew that. Had Dion in the 90s, blew that. The 2000s saw first round exits, and Matty Ice, the prototypical pocket passer, hasn't led you to the promised land. And if someone calls him second tier, Falcons fans turn their living room into a dry riverbed in Utah. Falcons fan, you salty.
Super Bowl, didn't you? Oh, how optimistic you were. The Falcons and failure have been joined at the hip since their conception. Let us begin. The Falcons start off as the NFL's punching bag in the late 1960s, literally one of the worst starts for a team before the Buccaneers come around. Norm Van Brocklin leads you out of the basement, and into the fringe hell that is mediocrity. It's not all bad, though. There's promise here. The Falcons go 9-5, and they have some good pieces on defense. Next year, you'll make the playoffs. I spoke a tad prematurely. You become a steaming pile of shit at 3-11, and your offense sets records for ineptitude. Norm Van Brocklin is shown the guillotine. Your next coach is Marion Campbell. You remain in the basement feeding off of the rats. Your defense is one of the best the game has ever seen. Too bad the Falcons couldn't score on a hooker and they don't sniff the postseason. My God, you actually did something and made the playoffs? And you won a playoff game? It only took you 12 years. You may actually win another playoff game. You're up 7 at halftime, but the Cowboys come back and win in the second half. This hopefully won't become a theme with the Falcons. You're finally a Super Bowl contender with a pinnacle 12-4 season, Pro Bowl quarterback Steve Bartkowski, a dual-threat running back tandem of Willie Andrews and Lynn Kane, receiving threats Junior Miller, Alfred Jenkins, and Wallace Francis, and a strong defense. You're up by 14 in the fourth quarter against the Cowboys. Just drive it home.
It'll be Newhouse. He's in there.
I'm not worried. The Falcons got a field goal in their next drive. As long as the offense keeps clicking, they're good to go.
To run, pointing, directing traffic, going in the end zone. Touchdown.
Falcons, you're gonna respond? At least try to save the game. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, fucking brutal. You're 7-6. It's time to prove your doubters wrong and avenge for last year's failure. Or just lose your last 3 and fail to make the playoffs. Alright, you made the playoffs again. You're up by 5 against Bud Grant's old Vikings at the start of the fourth. Time to get revenge. You blew another lead, eh? Whatever, you got a field goal and they have to drive the length of the field. It's going to take a total collapse for them to... You blew another lead, eh? Dan Henning leads you back into the clutching arms of mediocrity. That shitty coach you had back in the mid-1970s? Let's hire him again, because why the fuck not? You get sentenced back to the basement. It's the start of a new Falcon generation led by Bad Moon Rising and Prime Time. You got back to the playoffs and actually won another playoff game. Unfortunately, you get scalped by the Redskins in the next round. This Brett Favre guy is a head case that doesn't give a shit about the game of football. Exile him to hell on earth, also known as Green Bay. Turns out you're mediocre again. Time to bring a jolt to the team. The cancer known as Jeff George. Andre Risonen's prime time may be gone, but you still snuck into the playoffs. Remember that Brett Favre guy? He kicks your ass all over the field in the wildcard game. Jeff George reveals himself to be a team cancer. In other news, grass is green. You go 3-13 in the ensuing chaos. By God, you not only won another playoff game, you made the Super Bowl. Most of it is due to the Vikings choking on their own shit, but you're respectable in your own right. You're the lovable underdog, the goddamn dirty bird. Now bring that Lombardi trophy back to Atlanta. The Cinderella story strikes 12 and they get smashed by the Broncos. Better luck next year, boys. Or just go 5-11. You can do that. What you need to rush past this mediocrity is a transcendent talent. It's time to make a move. Trade a nice package to the Chargers to draft Michael Vick. Okay, you're 6-4. You've got a shot at playoffs again. Never mind, they lose 5 of their last 6. Congratulations, the meddlesome Smith family has sold the Falcons to a Gomez-Adams doppelganger. Vick's electrifying play leads you back to the playoffs in his second season. You actually beat that fucking Favre guy in a playoff game too. Only a brick wall could stop you. Its name is the Eagles. Michael Vick is going to lead you to greatness. He gets injured, you start the season off 2-10, Dan Reeves is flogged publicly in Olympic Park, and the defense is a turnstile. Such greatness. Things get back on track, and you make the playoffs again. Vick emerges as one of the great runners in the league, and you put up 47 points against the Rams of all teams. Only a brick wall could stop you. Its name is the Eagles. Turns out that the team doesn't have much else besides Vick, and they're a gigantic blob of meh. That's what happens when you put all of your eggs in one basket. At least you've got him. The dude may not be the greatest thrower, but he's still one of the most electrifying players in the game. Matt Schaub is being blocked by him, so we can trade him to the Texans. You got one of the hottest coaches in college football in Bobby Petrino. This is the year. Too bad Michael Vick likes his dogfighting rings. Fucking idiot. Bobby Petrino turns out to be a complete disaster in Atlanta. Who knew that big-time college coaches rarely pan out at the professional level? They go 4-12 on the field, but that's just like finding out you lost your remote after the goddamn house burned down. Time to get another QB in the draft. This Matt Ryan guy will do. You get back to the playoffs under his and Michael Turner's guidance, and you have another lead at halftime. Oh, you blew it? At least it was only a 3-point one this time. You finally got back-to-back winning seasons for the first time in franchise history? What do you want, a fucking trophy? Boom. You're Super Bowl contenders again with a 12-4 season. And you get completely obliterated by the Packers. One positive, though. You didn't lose to that fucking Favre guy again. You do, however, get absolutely manhandled by the Giants the next year. Hot damn, 13-3 and at home against the 49ers with a 10-point lead at halftime. They choose to stick to the script and piss the game away. There's always next year, though. Unless that next year is where the team completely falls apart and goes 4-12. Mike Smith is finally axed after a dismal 6-10 season. We don't have enough passion in our stadium. Let's just pipe in some noise to help out. Nobody's going to notice at all. You're 5-0 to start the year. The crystal ball predicts a future playoff berth. The crystal ball turns out to be a mirage and you lose 7 of your next 8. No playoffs for you. The Falcons shock the goddamn world and make the Super Bowl with one of the greatest offenses the league has seen since the turn of the millennium. The Patriots' time is up. It's time for Atlanta to emerge as a champion. They're doing so well right now. The Falcons have a 25-point lead in the third quarter of play. Oh, you thought I was just going to glance over this? Bitch, you don't know this channel. This is a special moment in sports. Time to amplify the pain. New England charges down the field in 6 minutes and James White runs into the end zone for a 5-yard gain. The Falcons do fuck all on the next drive. The Patriots charge down the field but are forced to settle for a field goal after a nice red zone stand. Keep getting points, Falcons, you're still good. This is when Devontae Freeman imitates a swinging door and the Patriots get the ball back on a fumble recovery. Fucking Freeman. The Patriots strike with precision and tack 8 points on the board.
Extra men on the rush. Ryan steps through it. Throws on the run.
God damn, what a catch by Julio. This should put the game away for sure. Just run the ball, burn the clock out, and kick a field goal to end the madness. Why the fuck are you passing? Why the fuck did you just put yourselves out of field goal range? Shanahan, you arrogant fucking idiot. Oh, turns out I was premature and you got back into field goal range. There was a holding penalty? Fuck. You blow the drive and you're forced to punt. The Patriots have to drive over 90 yards though. Just stop them somewhere and you're good. Or allow them to convert a 3rd and 10. Behold the glorious catch of Julian Edelman. Behold its majesty. Look at it, you filthy casuals. Behold. They drive the length of the field and tie it up with a minute to spare. The Falcons do nothing with the next drive and it goes to OT. At this point, every Falcons fan is saying, Stop it, please, I beg you! But I lean down and I say, The Patriots win the coin toss and proceed to pick the Falcons' defense apart for the length of the field. Oh look, a pass interference penalty.
Toss to White.
That was pathetic.
Enough from the clown! Enough from the clown! Enough from the clown!